Most superheroes have the alter ego so they can have the so-called normal life. Me, I choose not to. I don't see why I get so much flack for not having an alter ego. I mean, it's supposed to be a secret. No one's supposed to know. So what's the point? So if I take a girl on a date, I'm wearing the costume, sure. They like to bask in the awe of Universal Man. But when we're alone, you know, with the candlelight music and the pericomo and the fragrant oils and things of this nature, then they come to me and they say, oh, Universal Man, maybe you take off the mask. Maybe we can see who's underneath. There's no one underneath. They would be horrified if I asked them to take off their face. This is what Universal Man wears. This is me. Other than being indestructible because of my high density, I am just like you. And that's when the breakup starts, with the late-night recriminations and the slamming of the doors and the shattering bottles and the things of this nature and the redistribution of the assets and the it's not me, it's you, it's not you, it's me. But in Universal Man's experience, it's always you.
You see, when one is a superhero, there's a certain catalog of expectations that are incorporated with it. Say, the physical appearance. Yes, I stay in shape. Yes, I have the colorful outfit that goes along with it. But you see, what is inside? The perception, the sensitivity, the foresight, and the psychic awareness are what is important and what makes us different. What makes us transcend mere knocking about. Yes, I can mix it up. Oh, I can fight with the rest of them. I can knock 3 people through walls if I have to. But why do that when through the process of the mind you can avert conflict before it happens? I can make you perceive that I'm beating you up without even touching you with rapier intellect. Quite frankly, there are a lot of things that come along with being a superhero, the whacking, the battering, that I find quite unpleasant. And frankly, it's the germs. They're everywhere, and they're so small, and saliva, and blood, and bits of bone, and tooth. There's a lot of supervillains. Frankly, they're not clean people. They don't take care of their hygiene. I mean, you punch a mouth, and who knows what's on you after that. If cleanliness is next to godliness, then ungodliness is dirty. I can deal with a messy psyche, but I cannot deal with a messy bathroom. I mean, why can't people just clean up once in a while and wipe a sink or they leave hair? Don't they see it? Don't they see the scum building up? I mean, it is just a nightmare that you walk into someone's bathroom and they have not touched it in months. We're scrubbing. Are we out of time?
Macroburst audio file incomplete. Damaged during mission. Audio file for Macroburst mission recovered, but determined incomplete by NSA Division Delta.
I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. I just, it's kind of off day for me. I blew out the pipes. I was trying to seal off this thing that came out of the water. The villains, they always got those bases and stuff. So the funny thing is I blow out my pipes by blowing out the pipes. You know what I'm saying? It's a little joke, the play on words. Yeah, well, the Thrilling 3, what can I say? That was a good idea. I mean, I'm not sure I really know what happened. People blame me and they say there were these, conflicts. Excuse me. A little dry, but, I don't know what they're talking about. I mean, Gazerbeam and I got along fine. Excuse me, I'm having a little trouble. It was a democratic situation. It was good. I don't know what people are saying. Excuse me. I like Gazerbeam. He was a good guy. Excuse me.
My powers are atomic density manipulation, ability to reshape matter. Say you have a cut or a boo-boo, on your arm, I can, you know, I can probably do something about that. I'm not exactly a Band-Aid. I'm a little bit better than that. I'll actually heal it. You know, so I got my start in a doctor's office, actually. It seemed like a good place to start at the time, but it's pretty boring in there, actually, and I got a little tired of it. You know, the doctors, they didn't appreciate what I was doing as much anymore, and you know, I wanted something a little sexier, you know, than just cleaning up wounds. So I thought I would try this whole superhero thing, see how that went for me. Currently, I'm focusing in on trying to reshape different materials into bicycles. It's sort of a hobby. I'm starting to gain some acceptance within the superhero community. I've gone to conferences and stuff, and you know, at first I started in the back of the room, just sort of as an onlooker. Now I have my own, you know, I have a table I get to sit at now. Some heroes talk to me. I you know, especially if they want a bicycle.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Hypershock. So I have seismic wave generation, which is the ability to create earthquake-like disruptions in the ground to stop the bad guys with my dual seismic amplification hammers on one on each hand. No, I did not buy them at the hardware store, haha. Fly around with my vector thrust fusion rocket rucksack getting from place to place, and my powers enter effectual and non-solid materials, but if I can get a 6.0 on the Richter scale, I can generally stop whoever's out there and... We gotta talk about this. Hang on. Hey, Irv. Hey. Where's Irv? Coffee. Yes, hello. I need some coffee. Very nice. No, I don't want tea. I want coffee, and put some aspirin in it or something. How about coffee made from aspirin? You know, you people, you just don't do your homework. And look at this. What is this? Cheap. Spend a little money on your gear if you're going to have a super in here, okay? And you, who are you? You know, I could be out solving crime at the very least. We're solving this hangover. Ow! Oh.
I think the question I get asked the most is what happened with the Thrilling 3. It was working fine for me. That I have no problem working in groups. I think we were very successful. I think at times we may have been among the best, but a team is just that, a team. And then any time you take individuals and you put them in a contained environment, they tend to react like oil and water sometimes, or peanut butter and chocolate. Although peanut butter and chocolate does taste good together, so that's actually a bad example. I quite enjoy that. I think the thing I get asked about the most, of course, is my laser vision. People tend to think it's a real picnic to have eyes that shoot lasers, but believe it or not, it's had its disadvantages. If I look at anything too intently, it tends to burst into flames, which can be a real pickle in a relationship scenario. When you're conversing with somebody, a normal person would be able to look them square in the eye. I avert my gaze, which is often interpreted as disinterest, or rather daft or stupid, which couldn't be farther from the truth. I'm a man of culture, a man of passion, and I would say a man of humor, which is not widely known. On the outside, I appear calm and cool, perhaps even collected, but on the inside, I'm guffawing away on the steamship of hilarity. I'm not sure if that made very much sense.
There's always going to be a lot of collateral damage. There's lots of villains, and there's lots of villainous deeds going on at any given time. Part of my job is to prioritize which villains I'm going to combat, you know. So, you know, I take a look around, I see if there's any good-looking women who need to be rescued immediately, and then I sort of start from there and work my way down the list. You know, if you've got Tubby Joe Schmo over there with a laser pointed at his head, and he might have to wait in line a little while. Yeah, I've fought my fair share of villains, and they all have their own unique challenges. You know, they got their zombie monkeys and their giant laser robots and their super aquatic ninja pygmies. But I tell you, once in a while, the real kicker is I get these dames, man, these dame villains, and they got the curves and the hair and the big eyes, and boy, those ones, they're really, really hard to kill. You know, especially the ones that they come up and, you know, and they're looking at you and you're looking at them and you feel that simpatico, you know, like she's digging you and you're digging her, digging you, and boy, you really got to take a jog around the block real quick and, you know, sort of get your concentration back, compose yourself, because, you know, you can't get distracted by these sort of thoughts when you're going up against a super villain. That's one of the hard parts of the jobs, you know, when you come across a dame who's really something to look at, and you just got to let her have it because she's a villain. Yeah, those are the bad days.